So is it true that a handful of tennis balls can improve your indoor cycling comfort, power and performance? Well, let's jump straight into the video and let's see them in action, and then we can discuss it afterwards. Okay, we're with the Robo Pacer group, and as you can see, we're just tootling along, 245 watts. So we've got a race coming up in 12 minutes, and we'll try it during that as well. But let's just see what happens to start with if I put some power down. Quite a lot of rocking going on there. Let's see how it performs in the race, if I'm not already too tired to take part. So before we get to seeing it in action in a race, let's talk about the two things that I mentioned in the title of the video on the thumbnail, and that was more comfort and more power. So does a handful of tennis balls really provide both of those things? Well, I think you could see off that video that it's quite impressive the amount of movement that this tennis ball attachment allows you to get through your indoor ride. In fact, I've noticed it's made a significant difference in terms of comfort when I'm riding. I'm able to ride for longer and I'm able to ride harder, and that has had the benefit of being able to practice more and get better and improve in all areas such as endurance, power output and my racing performance, which if you're a regular watcher, you'll know that I enjoy very much. Certainly it is more comfortable. I've noticed a significant reduction in soreness after a ride, and we all get rashes and sweat rashes and this kind of thing because indoor cycling gets very warm, and that has been reduced significantly. So for that alone, I'm a complete fan. But what I've also noticed is that I'm able to put more power through the bike, and I think that's because I can move my body much more naturally as I would do outside, and I think that translates through the bike and achieves better power outputs. It's very much the same idea as buying a rocker plate. If you Google rocker plates, you can see that all of the benefits are to do with using your core, more movement, less soreness, and this delivers exactly the same, but for a fraction of the price. I bought the two units that I've got. One's for the front of the Zwift Ride, which is bespoke for a Zwift Ride, but the back will fit any Wahoo Kickr Core regardless of the bicycle that you've got on it. And together they cost me about £75. It was about 50 for the back and about 25 for the front, and that even included the tennis balls. So I will leave a link in the description below so that you can have a look if you're in the UK, and I'm sure if you're in other countries there will be people on eBay or Etsy that offer a similar kind of product. So let's take a quick closer look at it. You can see here basically it's two tennis balls and they just slot in as easy as that and slot out again, and then you can see it's been deliberately designed, in fact specifically designed. In fact it says, I think you can see that there's Zwift Ride, it's upside down. You can see Zwift Ride in the bottom here. And this is for the front foot, obviously. So it's really robust and very well put together. And I've had it on now for about 500 kilometers, I would say, and zero problems. It's been fantastic. It's a 3D printed plastic cowling that goes over the end of the Wahoo Kickr Core's feet. In fact, it actually goes over the rubber pieces that go on the end of the Wahoo Kickr Core, and it slots, and I have to say, quite firmly over the end of it. In fact, I've had no movement, no need to adjust it since I put them on. And then the tennis balls just sit in the bottom. So it's incredibly easy to fit. It takes only a few minutes, and then you are quite literally ready to go. But what is it like under race conditions? Well, let's have a look, and I'll take you through the finishing climb on a pretty tough Z racing course that I completed a couple of days ago. And you'll be able to see how they work in real time and not just as a demonstration. So you join me as we're just starting the New York Com Reverse. This was the final 1.5 kilometre of a Z Racing event held in April this year, 2025. And you can see it starts to get pretty lumpy straight away. So I'm out of the saddle. You can see that the whole bike is moving below me, and you can see in the 2 inset photos how the tennis balls is facilitating that movement. And even when I'm sat down, you can see that there's the rocking motion, somewhat akin to what you'd experience when you're on an outdoor ride. I hope you found this video useful. If you did, please like and subscribe, and there'll be more reviews coming on some of the other accessories that are fitted to the Zwift Ride, and also some of the equipment, like what I'm using here, that I use to make these videos. So if you like that kind of content, it'd be great to see you on the next one. Thank you very much for watching, and I will just say bye now.